listen, we all knew this was gonna happen, but still it's like, why? Obviously, you don't know what I'm talking about, of course, the news of NASCAR and the Chicago Street Course. And this has been in development for years now. This all began a couple years ago when NASCAR competed on the virtual streets of Chicago on iRacing. And then further reports about NASCAR's new direction and heading into new markets. Specifically, Ben Kennedy, who looks like to be the future go-to guy when it comes to what the future of NASCAR looks like. He has been at the threshold, at the center of NASCAR, doing these different things, like racing in Los Angeles was basically Ben's baby, and it did pretty well. And he is now looking at other new ventures for NASCAR to tackle. Street course racing. Now, street course racing is basically non-existent when it comes to the Cup Series. They did race it with the Winston West Series, but it looks like in 2023, the Cup Series will be racing in the streets of Chicago. No surprise, I'm pretty sure everyone knew that this was going to happen in one way, shape, or form. Literally just moments ago, Jordan Bianchi from The Athletic reported that the city of Chicago is endorsing a NASCAR race for 3 years beginning next year in 2023. Now, through a public records request by The Athletic, the city of Chicago basically endorsed the event of NASCAR coming to Chicago, like I said, for a 3-year stretch beginning next year. Chicagoland is incredibly enthusiastic about the opportunity to serve as host of the 2023, 24, and 25 NASCAR Chicago Street Course events, and we stand ready to welcome NASCAR fans to our world-class city. This would be a historic partnership for NASCAR and the city of Chicago, and our department is committed to collaborating and supporting NASCAR to execute the events in a safe and secure manner. Now, no contract at the moment has been signed or announcement has been made yet. However, according to The Athletic, an announcement is likely to be made in July 19th, so a couple of weeks away. Now, that letter that I showed you earlier, that was a letter that was sent to Ben Kennedy, who, like I said, is basically at the center of NASCAR's new direction by challenging these new different markets, like I mentioned the Los Angeles Coliseum. So it's no surprise that to see NASCAR race in the streets of Chicago, it's obvious this has Ben Kennedy's fingers all over it. Another letter sent by Aaron Harkey, who is the Commissioner of Department of Cultural Affairs and Special Events in the city of Chicago, sent a letter again to Ben Kennedy saying that they are thrilled about the opportunity to host a NASCAR street course race here in Chicago. They are dedicated to enriching Chicago's artistic vitality and cultural vibrancy, and our strong partnership with the Chicago Sports Commission ensures that NASCAR fans would be treated to a diverse and unforgettable experience. So yeah, again, the whole point of this is to basically tackle an uncharted territory, racing on a street course, which is very, very uncommon for stock car racing, NASCAR specifically. And on top of that, you're going into a very popular market in Chicago, one of the most popular cities in America, that will bring in a very different, diverse, and more than likely a younger audience compared to like what we had racing in Road America. However, big issue with this one. Number one, which track is that replacing? Now, again, I think no one would have a problem if this were to replace a Texas race or a Kansas race. I don't think anyone would have an issue with that. And Kennedy's initiative by going to the streets of Chicago is to, like I said, increase fan interest, but also to remove the amount of tracks that have multiple dates, which I'm hoping that if Chicago Street Course does come to NASCAR, it replaces one of those tracks that has 2 dates. However, knowing NASCAR and knowing the direction that I've seen based off of reports, it's more than likely it's going to replace Road America, which I do not like at all, and no one likes it all. Even though Sunday's race at Road America was, I'll buy it. It wasn't that exciting. It was fairly boring. I'm not going to deny that. I'm pretty sure everyone agrees that it was kind of boring compared to last year's race, at the very least. But still, Road America is a great racetrack, and so many people from northern Wisconsin came out to support NASCAR last year and this year. Hundreds of thousands of fans still came into the racetrack. So to ditch them after 2 years for something like this, which a very risky move, going to the streets of Chicago, is just, I said this in my earlier episode, it's just wrong. It's a slap in the face to the people of Road America, and also you have Chicagoland. Now, I do understand both sides that Chicagoland is an hour or so away from downtown Chicago, and you're not going to get a much more younger, diverse audience in Chicagoland compared to racing in the streets of downtown Chicago. I understand that. But still, I feel it's a slap in the face to race fans that want to see Chicagoland return, but it's like, hey, we'll return to your area, just not to that racetrack. Now, there's so many people that I've seen on social media that have an issue with NASCAR racing on a street course. I actually don't mind it. I think it's kind of cool that NASCAR is racing on a street course. I think it adds a new element to the schedule, so I don't mind that. It's just racing in Chicago with Chicagoland right there. Again, it's like a slap in the face, kind of. So yeah, the racing on a street course, not my issue. Having in Chicagoland, it does annoy me, but I also feel like part of me is also feeling like, you know what? No matter how much you complain, nothing's going to change it. I do feel like that NASCAR is just not going to race in Chicagoland forever. I think NASCAR's time in Chicagoland is done. I just don't see it happening. If not even them return to Chicagoland, not even think about Chicagoland, I think that's a huge sign that we're done with that chapter. And I think no matter how much we say we want Chicagoland back, I just don't see it happening. So let's put Chicagoland aside and just focus on the street course at Chicago. I'm excited. I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't excited. I am excited. Racing in a street course, I mean, it's unprecedented. It's uncharted territory for NASCAR, for stock car racing in general. Outside of the Pinty series when they race in Toronto, which has put on some banger races. So I'm excited about that. It's going to bring in a completely different type of vibe, type of fan base, which I'm excited about. It's just my two issues. What is it going to replace? And execution. There have been a lot of times where we have seen, a good amount of times where we have been to new races and new markets, and it has fallen flat on their face. I think we've seen times where NASCAR has tried something new, tried something different to generate excitement, and it has fallen flat on their face. The Indy Road Course is a perfect example of that. What happened in that curb, I think in turn 5, that basically just decided to kill every driver that was in the field almost. And racing in Chicago, a heavily populated city, you have to make sure that it will be safe and it'll be exciting. But it's the execution part of me that's like very concerned about this, because this is not like an oval, it's not like something that NASCAR is used to. They've never done a street course. And yes, they did race in a football stadium, but at least it's an oval. They have some experience of that. You're not competing on a street course. You basically have to go with what you got on the streets. You can't change it. You can just change the configuration, but you can't change the racing lines. You can't change how wide. There are certain things you just have to deal with what you got. And racing with stock cars there, it is a high risk. If NASCAR is going to do this, they have to do it like what they did in the LA Coliseum. They have to be on point with it in terms of execution, in terms of promotion, with marketing, how they hype up a race. Make sure the racing is actually good. Because it's one thing to implement a street course, but it's another thing to implement a street course that produces bad racing, especially when it's at the expense of a road course that was well liked. Again, Road America, even though it was not exciting last year, it was still well loved by fans. There are a lot of people that are hating at even the thought of racing in a street course because it's replacing Road America. If you're going to replace a well-beloved racetrack, you better replace with something that is going to work for the long haul and that fans are going to like. So NASCAR, they have a lot riding on this. If it goes great, NASCAR looks like geniuses. But if it goes bad, NASCAR will never hear the end of it. So I'm excited. I'm disappointed it's not Chicagoland, but we have to accept it that Chicagoland is never coming back. I hope I'm wrong about this, but I mean, come on, guys. They would have, if they could have, they would have returned to Chicago a while ago. They would have returned this year if they wanted to. Even last year, if they wanted to return to Chicagoland, they could have, but they didn't. And I don't think they're going to. And I think we just have to accept the fact that Chicagoland is gone. We just have to accept that. But with the Chicago street course, again, I don't mind it being on the schedule, but I would be very, very disappointed if it replaced Road America. It can replace a Texas race. Well, hell, it can't replace Texas in general. It can replace a Kansas day or a Vegas day. It can replace one of those dates. Just not a date that you just got a new market in northern Wisconsin that hasn't had a Cup Series race there since the 50s. Just tapped into a new market. The fans love the racetrack. They come out to support you just to ditch them off to the side. I really hope NASCAR doesn't make this decision, but we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, that's it for this episode. Thank y'all so much for watching. Tell me your thoughts on this announcement in the comment section down below. Do you like this move, NASCAR racing at a street course in Chicago or not? Love to hear your thoughts about this. Until next time, my name is Jett from MDK. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content. See you next time.